The issue becomes now you're going to ask me questions or try to create a plan for me based on something that happens when my eyes are closed and I'm completely unconscious, unaware. Well, that's a lot trickier now to convince somebody that when you close your eyes and you're in your most vulnerable state, naked, in your bed, behind closed doors, here's what's happening to you. I mean, that's creating the inflammation in your body is really hard for people to wrap their heads around. But unless we help them control and dampen that inflammation, then their nighttime hours will continually sabotage all their best efforts that are occurring during the daytime.
I like to think of it in a simplistic way that it's the cortisol, a massive outdosing of cortisol to arouse to do the arousal phase is incredibly inflammatory and damaging. I mean, fight flight going on chronically all night long, it just could not be good for us. And I kind of use that to describe and to help teach and educate people here. Some days I come in my office, I close the door and bang my head against the door because
Yeah.
they just don't get it. But we
But
try, huh?
conversely, if you are chronically stressed during the day, it will impact your sleep at night. So it's like you know, a, a chicken and egg thing because sleep apnea is highly correlated among law enforcement, and they're not overweight, and they are in physical shape, and those things. But the hypervigilant state that they're in creates damage, which then in turn affects their sleep. So you're right. It's the chronic activation of stress even in utero for the developing child. I mean, so it goes, yes, sorry, I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but
No, I'm loving it, what I'm hearing. It's fabulous. And you're talking about 70% of people with obstructive sleep apnea, and you talk about mouth breathing. For many years, I would look at patients that would have inflamed gingival tissues in the front and say, "Oh, that's a mouth breather. Let's, make sure you focus there a little bit harder on your oral hygiene and whatnot," something like that. Not really realizing that that was an issue, probably with sleep at night, more important than actually their gingival tissues.